Oh, so I did my test. This video is meant to be seen by anyone, but it's directed at my daughter, Hillary Ellis Minogue. Fritz, all this. I don't know if you can hear this. That's when you haven't had experiences. You can have sympathy if you choose to try to be sympathetic, but to have empathy, that means you went through it. I'm not mad at you. I just, to try to connect to someone that's, you're half my age. You haven't been in this world that long. I mean, you've definitely had some interesting experiences. But, I do live in a world of discrimination. When I went to the Kroger, I didn't tell him I had to take medicine for bipolar. You can't say that. And that's wrong. And that is going to change. We're working on getting to, we said, well, I suffer from depression, bipolar, schizophrenia. But right now, the education is not out there for the general public to know what to do with someone that has a brain disorder. Mine never goes away. I am not normal. And I never will be. You try to put me in a box. And Jennifer lives in that bizarro world of perfection. And I get that from her childhood. I mean, my dad suffers terrible bipolar conditions, bipolar 2, more the depressive side. And even though his dad was a doctor, he went to medicine prior to World War II. So basically, we're talking lobotomies. So Granddaddy didn't want to see any. He just didn't know much about and a lot of this is, within the past 10 years, they've been developing medicines. A lot of people feel like taking medicine for a chemical brain disorder is kind of like giving up or saying you're crazy. And I deal with people like that. They're like, well, I'm not schizo, blah, blah, blah. I'm not. It's like an aspirin for a headache. It really is. Now, behaviors that are associated with brain disorder, it just happens. And to not let it affect you. I'm sorry, I'd like to have a close relationship with my doctor. And he's leaving. My new doctor's leaving. But I don't know. I'm weird. My brain. I go see my doctor, and he says, "You slow down," because my brain, even though it's on medicine, it's well enough to get a job at Kroger. Hey, that doesn't mean I'm normal. I mean, I have a brain disorder. And I do think it makes me tend to think abstractly and more correct in some senses, that I see through the bullshit people lay out that's not real. You don't want to hear what Jennifer did, but Jennifer has some serious psychological issues. And she says, I said, why don't you get some counseling? She said, you just rag on us. She doesn't know how wonderful to sit in a room with a person who's getting paid to listen to you talk and try to help you. I can't say everybody's good therapists, but there are some really good therapists it's hard to know yourself from looking in the mirror because it's all flat. And that's just the analogy I have for a good counselor who can help you see things. Now, I could say stuff, and if I say stuff to, oh, no, because they don't want to hear it from me. And I'm like, okay, we'll go see a counselor, talk to them. But Frank's never gotten counseling. And his hypomania, he spent every fucking penny of his inheritance. And then he yells at me because I pulled up some carpet out of an apartment at the most $5,000 or $6,000. And I was going through Roanoke one time, and I thought I'd have dinner with him, and I called him, and he was so freaked out. He said, if you come by here, I'm going to call the police. And then another time I was out at Afton, and I was with Alan, and I was like, I need a place to live because Alan, he said, I said, Alan hits me. He said, well, be careful what you say. He's a fucking nutball. Really, really nutball. He never made any money. Not hardly any at all. And that's my situation too, that with a undiagnosed case of mental illness. So just, I mean, Jennifer, I don't know. I think, because I've done some work on it, that her arthritis is a byproduct of the stress she faces every day trying to control things so minutely. And that's a house we grew up in. I mean, that's a childhood issue. I went to the hospital, got help for it. It was because of my eating disorder. But I think counseling, I mean, I know you reject talking to people about this, and maybe you're just embarrassed, which is exactly why my damn father hides out in Roanoke, because he can't get up and say, hey man, I suffer. I couldn't make a living. I've had several affairs on the family. I tore my family apart completely with my bipolar 2 disorder, but now I'm getting help. He won't do it.